Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome back to the Top Flight Pod. You know what it is. You know what we're here to do. Back in studio today, beautiful Austin, Texas. I'm with the boys. We got Neff and B in studio, of course. Starting off with B. How are you doing, mate?
Doing good. Doing great. Happy to be here. Shout out Neff for coming through. Bali's not here, but we got my boy Neff in the stew. So.
Neff and Primo at a birthday party of
Tío.
family member. Tío. Of course, that's what happens when you have two members that are family members.
Yeah.
You know, they got to miss same day. But thankfully here we have PTO, so they can miss. They can miss, and they still get their.
They got denied, but they're still gone. So.
Yeah. Neff, how you doing, brother? We're in sick Real Madrid third kit. I like it.
No, beautiful. Doing good. Thanks for having me, guys. And how long do you have to be a member of Ralston for the PTO? Because I think I've been missing that for a minute.
7 years.
7 years? Yeah, no, I think I got a ways to go. But
7 years.
yeah,
Hang in there.
Missing.
Hang in
well,
there.
maybe. We'll see. We'll
Hang
see
in
what
there.
the contract says.
Is that this year's third kid?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That actually fire, bro.
Dope, yeah.
Fire, yeah.
It is pretty fire.
Honestly, all the Adidas ones, the third kits, they're pretty dope.
Yeah.
Except the Arsenal one, probably.
It's been man. I'm not a fan of Chelsea's kids at all, man. It's been a while since the last time I saw a Chelsea kid that was like.
That home
fire.
was atrocious.
It's alright, bro. It's
It's
alright.
atrocious,
It's
bro.
alright.
European football's back, mate.
Finally.
It's finally here.
Finally
It's
here,
finally,
brother.
of course, in tonight's episode, that's what we're going to be focusing on. There's some Austin FC news that we are going to get into. Of course, that's why a lot of the listeners, the fan base is here tuning into the pod. So we're going to talk about a couple things going on there. And then in La Liga, Real Madrid stumbles on match day one. Barcelona wins. Every point matters.
Disaster.
Every point matters.
Of course.
Disaster is what I keep seeing.
And in
Wow.
the EPL, mate, Chelsea stumbles to Man City.
There
Although,
we go. A little down to earth, a little humbleness.
although
What's up?
I think Chelsea put up a good fight.
It was City. You know what I mean?
It
It's
was City.
City.
It was
Well,
City.
you could say that was
City.
expected, though. It was City.
But before we get into the podcast, for sure, I want to send a shout out to everybody that's on Discord. Shout out to the Patreon members. Love the support, of course. And let's keep on trucking. We got a very exciting rest of the year ahead of us, playoff push. And if we do make the playoffs, I expect WATV to hit the road
Oh,
wherever
for
we
sure,
go.
for sure.
All right, guys, let's get into it. Austin FC news and updates. We'll start off with Mr. Peter Grogan. Now, the youngster from Ireland who signed from Bray Wanderers. He's 19 years old. He's a little bit of a record breaker where we're getting him from, Bray Wanderers, right? He is, I believe, the third player in club history to score in 5 consecutive games. Off of 19 appearances, he has 7 goals and 3 assists. Now, he was kind of a last-minute signing before the window closed, so a lot of people thought, what, was he brought into the first team? What's going on here? We later on find out from the official club announcement that he will start off with Austin FC 2. He's going to join their ranks and kind of work his way up. I'm predicting that next preseason, 2024-2025, well, the 2025 season, he's going to be integrated with the first team, take place with them in the preseason there. So I'll start off with you, B-Mate. What was your thoughts on Austin FC picking up this guy?
I mean, this is to me, it's a great signing. Everything was positive. His stats speak for themselves where he was playing at.
One for the future.
One for the future. I was honestly a little shook that maybe he's like, oh, Austin FC 2. I mean, to me, this is just we've yet to see him here, you know. But to me, I think he comes into that team, and I think he's probably already. As soon as he comes into that team, probably be one of the best, if not the best player in Austin FC 2.
Now
Is that a reach to say?
I mean, there is some talent on that team. There
Yeah.
is some talent. You got Micah Burton, CJ Fodry that also takes part of that.
Yeah.
Alonso Ramirez, and there's also some new players that joined this Austin FC 2 team, like Diego Abarca and the 2 center backs that were recently signed. But Neff, your thoughts on Austin FC 2? Kind of signing this guy for the future, obviously.
No, I mean, I think it's great for Austin. All the upside is in Austin's court. So,
For sure.
Like you said, sending him to the first team for the preseason coming up is the best idea. It's probably within the pattern that they have in his contract. First team practices and whatnot. So yeah, I mean, all the upsets in Austin, and it's honestly a surprise that a player with his numbers is coming to MLS as soon as he is. So
Yeah, I mean, I think that I don't think he will be to integrate into the first team. How far along we already are, we're in the business stages of
Yeah.
making playoffs. It's definitely a reach for him to come in and try to integrate into this first team. If that was the case, I don't see him getting any minutes. So I think it's the right move for him to go to Austin FC 2.
Important to know that he is coming from the first division of Ireland. So
I thought it was first.
First division.
Oh, okay.
The first
Okay.
division of Ireland. So we'll see how that factors into what the MLS Next Pro is, right? And speaking of his contract, Neff, you did bring it up. It is a deal guaranteed through the end of the 2026 season with an option for 2027 and 2028. Now, it is pending league and federation approval. This was from Austin FC Communications. Let's see. Now, a couple stats from him, just real quick. Grogan made an immediate impact with the Bray Wanderers, tallying 7 goals and 3 assists in just 976 league minutes. Played across 19 matches this season. From April 5th to May 3rd, Grogan scored in 5 consecutive games. Now, Grogan will be eligible to compete for Austin FC 2 upon the receipt of his P1 visa. So I'm excited to see him play with Austin FC 2. I'm very excited to see. You know what? This is kind of like a young Wayne Rooney signing, mate. It's like a young Rooney.
Dude, again.
Young Rooney.
Another second take again, bro.
I'm excited. I'm excited to see this guy play.
Look, to me, I think I'm going to just reiterate my initial take. I think he comes into this Austin FC 2 squad and is automatically up as the or one of the best players in the squad.
We still need to see him play because
That's true.
Neff and I were talking about this on the Spanish podcast, and there was some conversation on social media. I don't know how much value you can give it, but there could be an injury coming being
So he's
brought
not
with him.
Okay.
So I don't know what his match fitness is. Of course, we're going to give him time for him to get to full match fitness. But, of course, Austin FC has the best facilities in the nation, maybe, or one of the best. So I'm excited for him to work with our doctors, with our physios, and they're going to get him to that tip-top shape 100%.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited. If he's the next Wayne Rooney, I'm excited.
He's not the next Wayne
what
Rooney.
you said.
No, I
But
didn't
you-
say that.
You keep saying that. You
Say
keep doing
that.
that to these players, bro.
No, bro, I didn't
Hey,
say
Neff,
that.
back me up, Neff.
Just
Back me
step
up,
on the
Neff.
brakes. Step on the
Exactly.
brakes.
Exactly.
Be humble.
I didn't say
Be,
that.
be humble, bro. And don't forget, Josh Wolf does not like giving young players minutes like that
That's
unless it's
true.
Owen. Which, he deserved it or not, that's a different topic. But he's the only young
Now,
player with actual big minutes.
One
Yeah.
last thing on Peter, his contract. It does say that, or at least in the report from the Irish Independent, I believe, or the article that I sourced in the post that we made, it says that there is a clause in his contract where if he plays a certain amount of first team minutes, he'll get paid out, or the first team's gonna get paid out, something like that. Like
So
they'll get something.
So there's an incentive to play him.
There's an incentive for him to get first team
Oh,
minutes.
okay.
Yeah, but if the club doesn't want to pay him out, then
Yeah, I mean that
this
kind
goes
of
with
plays
what
more
Neff said.
against them, and you and I we
Yeah.
talked about it because
it goes with what Neff said.
that's more to protect the club than it is for anything else, and that's where kind of like what Josh Wolf does with this, or not just Josh Wolf, but Borrell and the whole coaching staff. That's it. It could take a big impact on what minutes or how many minutes he
And
gets.
that's a built-in excuse for like, hey, how come he's not playing? Well,
Exactly.
hey,
All right.
I mean, look what they did with Rigoni. It's like one
Okay.
example of those.
Yeah.
Rigoni, another story. Let's get into the next Austin FC topic, mate. Austin FC secures just over $1 million in GAM after adopting the U22 initiative model and trading a 2024 international roster spot to Atlanta United. Now, that roster spot expires at the end of this year, so we get it back at the beginning of next season, so no need to worry there. Now, with this GAM, with the portion of it, Austin FC, they bought down Alex Ring from his DP status, and with that move, I guess Austin FC pretty much closed out the summer transfer window, of course, without addressing the number 9 issue. But I'll start off with you, Neff. I mean, what did you think about this move that we got wind of, that Austin FC secured a boatload of GAM, and then you hear that Alex Ring was bought down?
I mean, I think it's a move that we've expected for a while now. I think it's the smart thing to do from Borrell. Borrell has been knowing that, once Rigoni was gone, you freed up that DP spot, brought in Bucati, and now you have for next season, I believe they're going to be able to pick from one of those two models again, right? So, moving forward, the amount of GAM you get from all that, it's going to be a good way to upgrade the squad.
100%.
Right, so
Flexibility.
it gives you plenty of flexibility, and we'll see what he can do with it. I'm still a little skeptical on it, but so far he has delivered some results.
So the post that we made on Instagram, I tried to explain it as much as I could, because it was a bit of a word salad, I guess you might say. There was a lot of information to be processed. The club secured $1 million in GAM, blah blah blah. Yeah. So I kind of broke it down. $1 million for adopting the U22 initiative model. Fantastic,
I was
right?
gonna come and explain like I'm 5.
I think somebody did.
Oh yeah.
Somebody
Didn't
actually
Diego
did.
say explain it to me?
Hey,
Ah,
he did. It's a whole lot of information to take in, right? So
To-
1
to-
million for that model, 75,000 for the roster spot, and then Alex Ring no longer a DP, right? Now, a lot of you might be asking yourselves, well, what's the U22 initiative player model? Well, Austin FC, what they decided to declare for is 2 designated players and 4 U22s. Who are those players for us, for Austin FC? Number 1, Sebastian Driussi, of course. And number 2, Osman Bukhari, who he is the second DP player that Austin FC has filling that spot. And the U22s, you only have Jean Komanich and 3 open spots. No international spots left. You sold that. You traded that to Atlanta, right? So, B, your thoughts on everything that Austin FC did. A bit of a chess move here.
Yeah, it's
definitely looking at it for the future.
he almost kind of set up the board for what's to come. I think we could still opt to a different model, right? Coming next year.
I believe it resets.
It
after the
resets.
season.
So
Should be every year.
so this isn't like set in stone. This is how we're gonna go forward. He could easily change it back to a different model and then
Well,
coming next season.
I think you have to follow it through the whole season,
Oh,
but
yeah,
but
for the
even
rest of
then,
the season.
the whole advantage to this is that you and which honestly let's be very clear about this. Most MLS teams were forced to take that approach. Because it's the middle of the season and you can't really go out and splurge on DPs you weren't planning to buy.
Yeah, that was what I was
Right.
gonna get to. Is that this isn't really like this is how we're gonna go going forward. It necessarily doesn't say that. It just for right now and for the rest of the season is what we're at. But it could change.
The official release, the press release from MLS says here that 19 clubs selected the designated player model versus 10 that opted for the U22 initiative player model.
It just depends on the roster that each team has. Like if you have
Yep.
3 DPs, you're not gonna go for the 2. So
Correct.
it just the MLS said, hey, pick us like organize, pick your spots, pick the how you want to go for the rest of the season.
And we were talking about it on Discord. We were saying, okay, well, what was the point of getting all this GAM, but then you use some of it to buy down Alex Ring? The question is, and we don't know this answer, the question is, BNF, how much GAM did Austin FC use to buy down Alex Ring? For sure there's something left over. So whatever that surplus of GAM is really what Austin FC got out of a win here. But to me, there's more wins. To me, the win is that Alex Ring is no longer that DP, although he is making the same amount of money. That's what the press release said from Austin FC as well. He's making 1.6 if I'm not mistaken. So he keeps that same salary. But other than that, I mean, there's nothing much to it. Just the fact that, just how you said, B, it sets up the chessboard for the next move, for the next window.
I wouldn't look too much into it as far as like trying to predict the future because I don't think this is set and this isn't permanent. This is
Question
just
for you.
for the end of the season.
Question for you. Does this tell you, like, oh, okay, they might be setting themselves up for that famous DP9 player in the next window? Maybe?
Yeah. I mean, I think this kind of sets up a lot of possibilities. I think the bringing down Alex Ring does give you that chance. So now, if Rodo would like to go for a designated number 9, we will be getting that international spot back for the next season. So that's also on the table. So yeah, there's many possibilities that Rodo can go. I think this is just for now. I think this is how we're just gonna finish the season. But I mean, this gives them a lot of flexibility, a lot of possibilities. There's much more to cook. I mean, when Rodo was here, we were hyping up on this big summer, this splash, this thing. But now that it's kind of over, I would like to kind of rephrase that a little bit and be like, I kind of put it into 2 parts. I think part 1 is done, and I think part 2 is coming, bro. That's the
So
way I
this
see
was
it.
the end of season 1, Rodo.
I think
Or
this
no,
is
no,
the end.
this is season 2.
I think this is
season
the
2.
end of the big quote-unquote splash that we always talked about. I think this is the end of part 1 of that.
Okay.
I think that instead of us thinking back then of like 1 big splash, I think it's going to be 2 big splashes.
Well, where are those names that you would not believe? You remember the quote that we
Yeah,
posted where
and-
Rodo said that there's players, coaches that want to come here that you would not believe.
Maybe
Where-
it's
where
in,
are those
maybe
names?
that's what I'm saying. Maybe it's in part 2. Like part 1 is set. Biru, Heinzike, Bukhari, all the players
Dessler.
that came in. Dessler. Part
season
1.
ends. Season ends.
Part 1 is done, locked in. We went into this initiative to end the season.
And now the crew started filming for season 2.
And now we're setting the board up for season 2. And I think another splash. And I think after this, the second part, we can finally
Okay. I see what you're saying.
finally
I see what you're saying.
judge Rodo's what he's been doing here.
I see what you're
I
saying.
think that after the second part, after the new year coming, the new season after this, we can finally judge his his work.
Let me jump in here real quick. To me, I was already judging Rodo's work based off of what he did at the beginning of this season with bringing in Diego Rubio,
Yeah.
Jader Obrian, the guys to just bunker down and hold off until the summer.
Yeah.
The summer comes around.
Bocati.
Now you see him go to work with his scouts. You think he's gonna bring these big names, which is weird. Which is weird to me because Rodo hypes up names you wouldn't believe. Makes you think like a Coutinho or like a Neymar.
Oh,
like
whoa.
names you wouldn't believe.
Bro.
Dybala. Hold on, pause.
This
Let me
is why
finish.
Rodo says that, so you can say stuff like
But
that.
let me finish.
Yeah,
But let me
I
finish.
agree.
But let me finish. Then he comes around with guys, the names you genuinely cannot believe, like Bukhari, Mikhail Dessler, like Svatok, names I've never heard of. But I'm not judging them by that. Biru, never heard of him. Quality player, recognizing that now. He's definitely coming around, giving him props there. But I'm liking what he's done so far. But to me, he hasn't brought in those names that I can't believe yet.
But it's because
won't.
the reason why is because you're leaning too much into that quote from him. I think that quote for him is just for the fans, just to say Austin's just trying to hype, just
you
get
gotta
positive.
take it at face value.
Yeah, you gotta
Like,
take it. I wouldn't look into much saying, And also, I would also like to kind of describe what I meant by the parts. It's like if Rolo's cooking the cake, he's got everything set up. I think what's coming next is the final icing, the final design, and the word. I think and that's coming next. Instead of us thinking that it was gonna be a one big here you go. It's been in parts. The way that I see it, it's been in parts, and I think that the last part is coming.
Personally, I think a better analogy for that would be more like fermenting wine. Because it's not gonna be as quick as making a cake, right?
Okay.
It's gonna take longer than that. It's honestly
Nah,
been
he's
kinda fast.
he's got the beginning of next season, brother.
He doesn't have that yet. So he's laid out a base, right? He's got that. Now he's got to, step on the grapes, whatever, right? Get in and get that stuff in the barrel. It's gonna take a couple years for that wine to be good.
Question.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, I'm gonna start judging his work starting next season. Season 1, week 1. I'm gonna start judging. I'm gonna start judging the squad week
that's
1
fine.
of next season, brother.
That's fine,
I think it's time.
which you should, but I think you're confusing a little bit in what becomes whose job is what, right? So is the performance on the field Rodo's job or Wolf's job?
Or the players' job. If
and
they're on the
players,
field,
right?
the players.
So in that sense, Rodo has very little to do then when it comes to results.
And
who you should be judging onto that would be Wolf and the players.
well, I'm gonna judge Roldo's work. I'm not gonna say that if we start off next season and we're losing,
let me give
I'm
you
not
an
gonna be like,
example.
oh, Rodo, look what you did. I'm gonna judge Rodo's side.
Let me give you an example. Let's say Rodo brings a Messi-esque player.
Whoa.
And Messi-esque. I didn't say him Messi.
okay.
A Messi-esque player. And because
There's only like Ronaldo.
Come on.
That's it. There's only 2
and
Messi.
let's say he brings one of those type of players.
Okay.
And because of Wolf's tactics and because of Wolf, that player does not work. Is that Rodo's fault?
No,
No, right?
that's what I'm going to be judging though.
right.
That's
but he
when
brought
I say.
in the player.
So
He
then
brought a great player.
exactly. So if week 1,
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
See what I
but
mean?
but let me go to that. If the next season, week 1, we have those esque players, then I'm going to be judging Rodo as a positive. I'm going to be like,
Right, okay,
yeah.
so- but that's
good,
not based
good
on the
Rodo.
result.
No, 100% no. That's what I was saying is I'm gonna start judging Rodo's work based on that.
Okay, well
Okay.
that's how it should be. I think
All
that's
right,
fair.
all right, gentlemen. We got to go on to the next question here now. The last thing on the Austin FC segment is Austin FC clearly didn't address the 9th position this window, right? Do you think
You got
that
Giassi Sardis.
do
What
you
more
th-
do you want?
do you think that the club has the roster to compete for the playoffs? Playoff push? Think that they'll make it?
No.
I think so.
Start off with you, B.
I think so. I think we have the roster to compete
Now, I will
for a
remind you
playoff spot. I mean, 9 spots, bro.
the next couple of games, Nashville, Vancouver, Toronto.
Yeah, we
Then you
have
got
to.
LAFC.
We need 2 wins at least out of those first 3 games.
Look, I'll put it this way: does Austin have the manpower? They have the manpower to scrape by to a playoff spot.
That's
Yes.
what I was answering.
Yes,
That's what I was
yes.
answering.
So yes,
Yeah.
my negative to that, or I guess my response to that, would be in terms of how are these players performing and how is this manager helping these players perform, right? And in the situations he's putting them in. I don't think the season, at least in MLS, has been proof that there's too much going on for that to be the case. But anything can happen, right? And then they had a momentum change with Leagues Cup. Maybe they can take a little bit of that into.
Yeah.
So
Plus, we haven't seen much from Bucari at all. It's time for him to show us. It's time for him to show us, and he's gonna have to show us against Nashville, against Vancouver, against Toronto. He's gonna have to.
Yep.
If we come against Toronto and he hasn't showed us much, what's going on here? So that's why I say the manpower, we have it. Now the Wolf question is a different.
that's a
Now,
different thing.
now, one player you guys haven't really talked about, and I want to bring him up before we move on to some other topics, is Svatok, a guy that's gonna, that's
true.
gonna solidify this backline for
You
us.
hope
And
so.
FC.
He's meant to.
He's
meant
meant
to. Hope so.
to solidify this backline, right? Now, this guy is obviously a no BS, straight work, straight hustle kind of guy.
I mean, he wouldn't smile in the picture. Bro.
Wouldn't smile in the picture. Apparently, we were told that in the Ukrainian culture that smiling in public is considered as not intelligent. It's considered foolish. So you won't catch him smiling out in public.
Damn.
Interesting.
I like
tidbit.
I'm gonna adapt that.
Yeah.
I like
No
that. I
more,
like that.
no
It's
more
like
smiling for me.
You know?
It's kind of like a culture thing, you know.
Then
Like
Bali's Ukrainian then.
he's kind of like saying why. He's like, it's like saying, why are you smiling out in public, bro? Like why?
That's
Yeah, why?
Why are you so happy?
Bali must be half Ukrainian.
He
then.
must be half
Maybe.
Ukrainian. He
got
must be.
An uncle,
But
grandpa out there.
Just quick take on him. Do you think that it's he's gonna help that back line level up and close out some mistakes or clean up some mistakes that you committed against LAFC that ultimately hurt you and help you throughout the rest of the season?
You would hope so, bro, but I couldn't tell you much. I mean,
Yeah,
I've
you
yet to
can't.
see him.
What are your expectations for him?
Exactly what you just said. To solidify this defense, to be the vocal point, to be like, okay, him and who, to be a guy automatic. Leo, Julio. I mean, Matt Hedges, Heinz Ike stands out. So to me, I mean, that's just.
I think you still gotta take it one step at a time with a player you haven't seen yet.
Yeah.
Right. So I wouldn't say he's an immediate starter or anything of that sort because you haven't seen him.
Yeah.
What if he doesn't adapt properly, right?
Fair.
So you have to look into all that. I think it's not far fetched to say that he's already probably one of the better center backs because from the material that Austin FC has had so far throughout the last couple of years hasn't been great. But guys, Austin has as many center backs as Chelsea has goalkeepers, bro. So I mean, the pool is out there. I mean, you have so many choices, and you have to have at least two decent ones.
Somebody take the reins, brother.
Now, another news, just small note, Austin FC 2 players, they get championship rings.
I saw that, bro.
Nice little detail there for the
Bro,
boys.
that's
They
fire.
were hyped up.
Fire,
They were
bro.
in the restroom. They were taking selfies,
Whoa.
putting them up on social
Oh.
media. They were in dinner, taking flicks,
Man, I would too.
for IG. I would too. I ain't
Yeah.
mad at it.
Slide where Austin get rings.
I'm wondering where ours at, man.
Yeah, bro. No.
I'm wondering where
What
ours
did we
at.
win?
Well, I mean, we helped them.
We were
social media-wise.
media X page of the year.
100%.
Remember?
100%. We were Media X Page of the Year.
Yeah.
Shout out to Area Sports and Fabian for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Well,
own
shout
it.
out to the fans for voting
Shout
for
out to
us.
the fans. 100%. Shout out to the fans. But yeah, they got championship rings. Really cool detail for those
Fire
guys.
rings, by the way. It's
Yeah.
weird to see a championship ring with Austin FC on it. Like, that's
But
just
Austin
weird.
FC 2.
But still,
Austin
you
FC
see
2,
it.
Don't
right.
forget the two part of
that's
that.
Make sure the microphone right here, bro. Gotta put it right there, bro. But all right, gentlemen. Anything else from Austin FC that you would like to bring up or share on the pod?
Nah, I'm
Not a
excited
lot
for
of news.
Nashville. I'm excited for Nashville. We're going to have a watch party. So hope to see a lot of you there. And I'm excited to get in the business stage of the season, bro. Let's make playoffs.
Business stage of the season for sure, mate. And on that other note that you mentioned, the watch party, we will be having one at the Walnut Creek Pub. If you've been to our previous watch parties, it's at the same place. If you haven't yet, search it up on maps. Walnut Creek Pub, really cool spot. Arrive early. Parking is available at the location, but there's also parking right next door. You can also park there. Inside, it's really, really dope. Multiple TVs that you can check the game out on, and some really good food and some nice drink specials, I must say.
Come watch the game with us, man. Come
Yeah.
vibe.
They got a really cool patio area too that some people like, and it's fenced, so the people that are driving by can't see you. It's a really cool spot, honestly.
So Saturday.
Saturday, Nashville.
Get it.
We're gonna be there, and also Pollo FC. They're gonna be there, and Austin Firm. They're gonna be there, and I'm gonna be posting it on Monday. By the time this podcast is out, so people are gonna get
promo.
the heads up for that. So we'll see you at the Walnut Creek Pub.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Neff, anything else for Austin FC, mate?
No, I mean, I think we covered pretty good. What's to come for the team. Hopefully, they get the results coming up. Nashville's tough opponent, always has been,
Yeah.
and coming up after that, the Whitecaps, if I'm not wrong, correct?
Yeah.
So yeah, just good luck to the team.
Prediction for the Nashville game? Number
Oh,
real
don't do
quick.
that, bro.
You don't do that.
You
Don't
know,
do that.
B
2-1 ATX.
2-1 ATX. I like it. Nashville's not doing so good. And ATX, you would think that with their new additions, their new signings, that they'd hit the ground running after the hype that you got from Leagues Cup. You put Zardes back at the 9, and things might.
I mean,
be good
look,
for
if
us,
you
FC.
if we get 20 shots against LAFC,
That's what I'm saying.
we can go
Yeah,
in Nashville and
yeah,
get
yeah,
a
yeah.
result.
Let's get it. At least, Neff, give me a who wins, who loses. Is it a draw?
I'm gonna say a draw.
Okay.
Okay,
All right.
fair enough.
All right, now, gentlemen, let's get into some European topics. Of course, we have the La Liga ball on the table, but we're going to start off with EPL, maybe. I like the jersey that you got on. Pulisic?
Pulisic in the back.
Pulisic,
Yes,
mate.
sir,
My
yes,
respect
sir.
to
Captain
Pulisic.
America.
I got some AC Milan notes here in the pod that we're going to get to here later on. But I want to start off with Chelsea versus Man City, mate, because today that was the big match. That was maybe match of the week.
That was match of the weekend across Europe, I think.
Match of the week across Europe, I might say. Right now, in that game, I'm going to give credit to the Chelsea boys, mate. Shout out to Tucker. Shout out to Nino, the Chelsea fans on the Discord. But shout out to the Chelsea team because I thought that they gave Man City a pretty good fight. I thought they gave them a pretty good fight. We were talking about it before the pod B. We were saying it was City. It was almost expected, and I get it. This team has 46 players. They got a new coach. It's a whole new system,
It's a
right?
New system, new coach. You said 46 players, yeah.
And you're going toe-to-toe versus City. I mean, 2-0, it could have been worse.
I mean, sure, we held them to one goal for most of the game, I guess you
100%.
could say. The game, I think, to me, was a bit of a snooze fest, a little bit. I think once City got that goal, they just kind of said, all right, we're going to do what City does is once they go ahead, they control the game. I think that after City go up 1-0, they control the game. The more that Chelsea tries to press, the more dangerous City becomes. That's just how they do things, City. Kovacic played well. I think
Golazo Kovacic.
Golazo Kovacic. I think Savinho, man, stood out. I mean, come from Girona, right? I mean, another youngster out of nowhere coming. I mean, I don't know if it's out of nowhere. Maybe some fans have been keeping an eye on him, but to me, he stood out to me. Cucurella starts off the game doing well, having Cucurella.
Stop.
Cucurella in the beginning of the game, I think, was played as if he was playing for Spain in the Euros. He was doing
Magnifying
great.
glass on him, bro.
He was-
All eyes on him.
He was doing great. He had Doku on Doku. He had him on lock. They switch over. Doku goes on the left. Savinho comes on the right, and then Cucurella's getting cooked. So I thought Haaland's goal was great.
Gusto played well for me.
Gusto played good.
Caicedo had a pretty good game too.
The only two players that I would say had a bad game would be Jackson and Ederson. Ederson had a bit of a stinker game, and I think.
What about Cole?
Cole
has to be talked about.
I wouldn't say that his performance was bad. I would just say he was almost non-existent. I think that he came out of the midfield, and then also the main talking point here is that Enzo is slots into the number 10 position because Lavia comes in after having a wretched injury season all last season.
Yeah.
Fighting with Liverpool to sign him and Cancelo, he finally is healthy enough to start. He starts next to Cancelo in the midfield, pushing Enzo Fernandez up forward in the number 10 position, pushing Cole Palmer out to the wings, to the right. So just MIA from most of our attacking players. I mean, you can tell that we're trying to learn this system, and it's not there yet. And on top of that, we're playing Manchester City out of all opponents, so it's a tough first game to play. But like you said, we kept them to 1-0 for most of the game. And
Question B, this City side, right? You do
Yeah.
mention how it is Man City right
Yeah.
now that we're talking about this game.
But
I've heard of a lot of conversation around City not being contenders this year anymore because Pep Guardiola might not be in it anymore. A lot of
said
these
that?
players are also aging. That they
I see what you're saying.
might be number 2 this season with Arsenal possibly being
you could also-
number 1
you-
for the title.
you could also question their hunger, their desire. I mean,
Their
4
hunger,
on a row,
desire,
5 in a
100%.
row, however it is. I mean, plus this City wasn't full strength City. Savinho starting, Lewis. I mean, full folding on the bench. I mean,
You also lose Julian Alvarez and you
Rodri
don't really
on the bench.
replace him.
I mean,
Julian Alvarez?
yeah. Also,
gone.
so this wasn't full strength City here. This is
Yeah.
beginning of the season City, and even that against
still took
us
care of business.
still took care of business. Kovacic, golazo. I mean, I think it's ironic that we let him go for cheap to City.
Not just you,
not-
not just
not-
you.
no,
Also,
no,
also this guy.
I know. We let him go cheap to City, a midfielder. We brought in Caicedo. We brought in Enzo Fernandez, and he skips past both of them to hammer that goal in there. So, man. it's just-
Absolutely
yeah.
hammer. Hammer.
It,
that
it was
goal.
going to be a tough game to
Yeah.
begin with. I mean, week
Who-
one, come
Who
on.
does Chelsea have next?
Honestly, I don't know. That's you
I'm
got
gonna,
me.
I'm gonna, I'm gonna.
I really
Yeah,
don't
pull
know.
it up real quick. Pull it up. I want to see who Chelsea has next, because I'm very interested to see if Chelsea are gonna go 2 games without any points.
Oh, I mean,
I'm very curious to see. But while you pull that up, mate, I want to just
oh,
get
guess
some.
what? We have Servette in the Conference League, mate.
Okay, so
But we play Wolves in the Premier League. next.
Wolves. Okay, interesting. Well, we got Wolves here in the notes for Arsenal. So, and I got something to say on Wolves. But Man United, they defeat Fulham, of course. Zerke with the goal at minute 86, saved it to the very, very, very end. Erik ten Hag starts with a win against Fulham. Now they got Brighton away up next, and Fulham they receive Leicester. So, Neff, any thoughts on Man United? I mean, of course, I know there's been a lot of heat around them. Of course, the coach Zerke scores it late.
On his debut.
Yeah, no, good for him. It's one of the new guys, so it's always good to see a debut goal for a player like that. But man, I'm United sticking with Ten Hag, bro.
That's part of the question.
That's some Austin FC move, bro.
The thing is, though,
but
the thing is, though, are they really sticking with him? Because they were shopping
Yeah,
around.
that's what
They
I was
were
gonna bring
looking
up.
for
Yeah,
coaches.
and then he's too expensive to let go. But you see them spending all this other money on on players, and then this and that.
Who?
You know what's the priority here, right? Are you trying to build a club, a team, or you're just trying to build a brand? So, well, my thing with United is I don't
United
think
is a brand, though.
I don't think that they win anything major in the next couple of years. Like this now with Ten Hag.
this
been the
has to
case
be
for a
his
while.
last season. This has to be his.
Well, you would think
if
I
he
mean,
even makes it to the end.
I mean, you would think. We'll see what happens. Bali, it's still.
Ten
That's
ha ha
Ten
ha.
ha. Still like it's still in the
Well,
back of my head all the time.
I'll say this. If you're saying that Ten Hag's it's his last season or whatnot, one of their targets is now free. Gareth Southgate. And United
Is that any better?
United. I'm not saying that he is better or not. I'm just saying
Yeah.
that he is one of their targets. He is going to be free because
Yeah,
everybody
yeah.
else has now been scooped up. Pochettino, he's not free anymore. You're going to have to look
Nah.
at the guys that are available at the end of the season. And also, managers will get sacked this year.
Oh yeah,
Managers will get
absolutely.
sacked.
But I mean,
But-
just look at the profile of managers they're going for.
Yeah.
If that's the case.
Yeah, they definitely want somebody that's going to answer to the board, and Ten Hag so
Hey.
far
And-
has
but
been doing that job.
De Ligt came in. Maybe that could help him.
But you look at the league in the past year, bro. Too, it's
Yeah.
like look at the history and the type of players they're bringing in. It's not looking great.
I would say that this transfer window has been positive for Man United, though. You have to give them credit for
I
that.
mean-
They have been moving different. I will criticize them on the Euro deal. That was a bit of a shambles deal. But everything else painted to be good transfer market business.
And even with him, it was.
De Ligt was also cheap. What are we talking about
Yeah.
here?
Ye-
De Ligt
yes,
was a
but do you
steal.
know why he was so cheap?
Well, because he hasn't really been finding form. I mean, he's been bouncing
Form?
from club to club.
Bro, he's been injury prone.
Yeah.
Like you haven't seen before.
a lot of these players is just because of he's the Ajax background. I mean,
Yeah.
The Ajax background, 100%.
So-
You could tell. But all right, gentlemen. Another result in the EPL, Ipswich versus Liverpool. It was 2-0. That was a bit of writing on the wall. You knew that Liverpool had to take the points. But the headline here, Liverpool new coach, different era.
Yeah.
Klopp is now gone, but Mo Salah still gets a goal. New hairstyle, same goal scoring form, and then Jota, he scores a goal as well. But Bia, any thoughts on this match? I mean, Ipswich, a team that I'm going to follow this season, the Tractor Boys.
That's your team this
That's
season.
my team this
That's-
season.
Yeah.
That's my team this year in the
I
EPL.
hate people that go, this year my team is.
What do you
Come
mean,
on, bro.
mate? What do you mean?
People that say that just, no.
We call
But
those bandwagons.
I'm a
I know-
tourist in the EPL. I'm a tourist.
Okay, but on the Liverpool side, I think honestly, I have a feeling Salah's gonna have a crazy year this year, bro. I think he's gonna have. This might be his last year with Liverpool. He might be going to Saudi Arabia. I don't know, but I have a feeling that he might put up those regular Mohamed Salah numbers that we're used to seeing him put up. And I think it's going to be a great season for him, bro.
Okay. Neff,
It's a prediction.
any thoughts on Liverpool?
No, I mean, it's they've been on a little bit of a downfall, last at least in the Champions League, and that they haven't been able to find that form again.
That says
on
a
the-
lot to their
for the standard. Yeah,
that says a lot to the
Yeah, that-
standard. If
which-
you're saying
which
they're
is-
having a fall down,
Yeah, I mean, but that's
Yeah.
good because
Yeah.
that means they're a top club.
Yeah.
So you expect them to be up there. It's gonna be an interesting season for them, seeing that Klopp's not there anymore. So
I'm excited.
yeah,
I'm excited
it
for them.
it seems like they're adapting well. They had a nice transfer window. Actually, they haven't signed, have they? No, they haven't.
They haven't had like
No.
a splash. They haven't
No.
been talked about in the transfer window. But I think the transition from managers was the most important. I think more important than signing
So that's gonna be
anybody,
more of
bro.
a systematic
Yeah.
one. So that's gonna be
Yeah.
very, very interesting. And honestly, I have them in my top 3.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if I even have him cracking my top 4. I don't know if that's a hot take. I don't know if that's
Kind
a
of,
hot take.
kind of.
I mean,
No,
I see
actually,
it. I see it.
It's a lot of uncertainty with Klopp being out. So I get
it's
it.
There
also
is-
match they won.
It's also a match they
Well,
won.
I'm not
They won.
basing it on that. I'm
Yeah,
basing
okay.
it more on like what I think the Liverpool atmosphere would,
And the
would
squad.
be. The
100%.
squad
100%.
and
Coach.
the freshness that a new manager, the
Yeah,
impact that it
exactly.
can have, right?
Exactly.
So it's gonna be a different take on the Liverpool culture,
100%.
and I think it would be, probably put them back on the map.
Manager
like
boost,
that.
full on effect right there.
Yeah.
On the Ipswich side of things, first time back in the top flight since 22 years, right?
22
Since
years,
the early
damn.
2000s. They are a bit of a historic team. Bit
Yeah.
of a historic
Really?
team. Yeah, they've been around the park for quite some time.
Yeah, it's a Ipswich. That doesn't come to you naturally when you think Premier League. I mean, I know they have the history, but just recently they've, like you said, 22 years without being in top flight.
They got back-to-back promotions, and then Ed Sheeran, famous Ed Sheeran, minority owner. Did you know that?
I
Sheeran.
did,
Really?
yeah, actually.
Nice. Ed
It's
Sheeran.
literally all I knew about Ipswich, bro. It's literally all I knew about Ipswich, man.
Ed Sheeran was a minority
That's
owner.
literally all I knew, bro.
Now they also have a really cool crest. They got a horse on a soccer ball,
What are we
stepping on a soccer ball,
All
and there's like
right, all
water
right.
underneath it because it's
Okay.
like represents like a dock because it's like
you-
it's like a dock.
He's done his homework.
You've read their Wikipedia page, haven't you?
Yeah, 100%. I'm telling you, I'm looking into Ipswich. this
Oh,
season.
that's your team. I
That's my
forgot.
team
Yeah,
this
right,
season,
right,
mate.
right.
Tractor boys.
We got to get a
Tractor
kid
boys.
in the stew, man.
Yeah, I'm actually already looking at
I know you
options
are.
on classic
I know
football
you are.
kits.
I know you are.
I'm looking at some really cool polos. They're cheap on there. That's my little secret. But careful. If
I was
you-
about to say.
Careful. If you're gonna buy anything off of there, I recommend you get like a Visa gift card from Walmart because I bought a bunch of stuff from there a couple weeks ago, maybe
Yeah.
months ago, and then I had to get a new debit card
Yeah.
because my information
You
was
had to-
stolen.
You have to go get
So
it.
just be careful. Go to Walmart, get yourself a debit card, put the money, the funds on there, and then use it on the internet. Just be safe as much as you can.
Solid advice.
Solid advice. But
Yeah.
gentlemen, Arsenal versus Wolves, another EPL banger of a match to start off this season. Now Arsenal begins the new season with as heavy favorites to win the title, at least in my opinion. The goal scorers for them, Kai Havertz minute 25, and then Saka 73. Now important, Saka gets the goal, but also an assist, mate. A lot of criticism for him saying that he doesn't show up.
Havertz
Game
too.
day one, both of these guys show up. Now Mosquera from Wolves, just taking headlines by the way that he was.
No, what was that?
The way that he
What was-
cups, was it Kai Havertz's butt?
No, it was Jesus.
Jesus, oh yeah,
Yeah.
Jesus' butt. Now people were saying
What was he
that's
doing?
folks are saying that that's sexual assault.
Dude, it looks like it is.
Gabriel was very upset.
Was he?
Rightfully so.
Let's think about his intention though. Was he trying to just like to throw him off balance?
Why would you do
Look.
that? Why would you do that?
Intimidation, bro. Cuauhtemoc used to do it.
Oh, you're right. No,
Cuauhtemoc
Cuauhtemoc used to do,
and worse.
Cuauhtemoc used to
probably,
do like
honestly.
oil checks and stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
Do you sniff the fingers out
Oh
there? or
my
what?
God.
well, you're gonna have to ask him.
I mean,
So-
look, the
sources-
tactics. The
Sources say you've
kisses
done
on the
something
neck.
similar in Sunday League.
Sources are telling you wrong things.
Just saying, sources.
I've also
Sources
heard
need-
that going around, but I didn't
No,
wanna-
whoa,
I
what?
didn't want to
So
bring it up.
multiple sources now have stated the same information.
sources-
so-
But back to the movement. I was. Was he
Fake
booked for
news,
that?
brother.
Was he booked for that?
believe so.
I think so. Yeah, he was given a yellow. Should have been sent off. Folks are saying.
They should
Now-
make a new color for those kind of.
Other than that, I want to say that Mosquera was a little bit of a positive for Wolves when you're talking about football because there was a bit of a battle going on with Kai Havertz, and he was locking him. Other than the goal that Kai Havertz scored, he was locking his side down. So I think that Wolves, maybe that's a bit of a positive for them. Mosquera, one of the players that could be something that they could look forward to in this season. We'll see what happens with Wolves. But, guys, another game that we're going to talk about here, West Ham versus Aston Villa. Now, don't sleep on either of these teams. To me, both of these teams are possible top 4 contenders. Maybe
shout.
more Villa than West Ham. West Ham just got Lopetegui. Now, Villa under Unai Emery, I think they're a bit more serious. Lopetegui,
I rate him high, though, Lopetegui. I think he's a great coach.
Lopetegui's a great coach, but Unai Emery is something else, right?
Yeah.
Now,
for sure.
Amadou Onana, minute 4, and then John Duran, minute 79, Lucas Paqueta, minute 37, PK. Now, very even match down to the last stat, honestly. But, B, any thoughts on West Ham versus Villa?
Man, it's tough to say week 1. I think Villa, they're in the Champions League this season. I think that's going to play a big factor in their run in the Premier League. They're going to be stretched in. I mean, can they hold on all fronts as long as possible?
100%.
I agree with your West Ham and Villa take. I mean, I would throw Newcastle in there in the mix as well.
The Magpies.
A potential top 4 finish. I mean, overall, look, it is week 1. We don't want to get too carried away, but I think if you were to ask me who are the main, I guess, positives out of week 1, I would put City, Liverpool, and Arsenal, which is who you would think
100%,
would be fighting in the end.
Good take. Now, I know that Tottenham and Leicester, they still have to play, so we got some games that still have to go on in the EPL. But week 1 was definitely great.
Yeah,
week 1 was
so
awesome.
So far, so good. And there's gonna be a lot of off the pitch stuff coming up too. I mean, the whole City thing is gonna come up in November. Leicester City might get a point deduction. They've been accused of being even worse as far as
innocent Leicester City.
Leicester City have been accused of being even worse than City, not by their wrongdoing, but the lack of how would you say, like lack of working together with the Premier League in corporation.
Ooh.
They were like, no, we're not doing anything. So there might be a point deduction coming from Leicester. It might be a hefty one. The whole City thing is coming to light. Nottingham Forest might be getting hit with another point deduction.
What's up with these point deductions,
I
bro?
know.
What's up with the Premier
I
League?
heard
Everything-
70, 80 points, something amongst those lines.
No. I don't
Well, that's
know.
what I
City's
saw on the headline, but
it might be double digits for Leicester, maybe close to double digits for
And this is
Nottingham.
the best league in the world, mate.
There's a lot of off the pitch stuff that's going to be popping up this season, is what
my.
I'm trying to say.
And this is
Yeah.
the best league in the world, mate.
And
This is
knowing-
what you're trying to sell me.
Knowing City, they're going to push this to the very limits. I mean,
Well, no, we're gonna get the answer this season, though.
no, we're
Possibly
scheduled.
not.
We're scheduled to know something by November.
Yeah.
But with the appeals that City are obviously gonna implement, this can go on for another.
this is
couple
not
years,
gonna.
bro.
I have my thing is
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna happen. Anything's gonna happen until after Guardiola leaves.
Yeah, I think so. I agree.
Do you think that's gonna be a factor as to why he's gonna not stay? Why
I
he
think
wants
that's
to move?
already a factor as to why he hasn't renewed.
He's
he has
gone.
to. He has
Yeah.
to. He has gone. He
He's
has
gone.
to go. He has to go.
I mean, we'll see what happens, right? But I don't. I think that's gotta be like one, if not the factor for him
Now,
not renewing.
there are rumors of him coming to MLS. There has been videos of him
Which
seen
would be with New York City.
But
would be the team.
New York City, pero hold on.
I know
Where's
you're not.
where is his best friend?
Stop.
Where is his best friend? If
Miami?
But
if he comes to MLS, he's gonna look at New York. He's gonna look at the big
Let's
teams,
not-
yes.
bro, let's
But
not.
Austin FC is on the table if Pep Guardiola comes to MLS.
Listen,
Bro,
I love
first of
how
all-
you said the big teams and then Austin FC.
Bro,
Keep
we're a
that
new
in
club.
mind.
We're
First
a
of
new
all,
club. We're a new club.
first of all, look at what they've been. His camp, his assistants, his coaching staff have been saying. They're homesick, bro. They want to go back to Spain.
Yeah, they want to go back.
That's the talk. It's
Wow.
not like I want to go elsewhere in my
Yeah.
career. No,
I think
the
he
talk
might
has
go
been I want to
national
go
team.
back home.
I
They
think
also-
he might go national.
They also won everything, bro. They won everything in England. They just trebled. That's it. It's time to pack it up and go home.
It's time.
It's time to
That's
pack
why-
it up.
that's why you would
That's
question
your
their-
ambition.
It's not
That's
that-
how you look at the
No,
game.
But come on,
no.
9 years,
Bro.
9 years, bro, 9
You
years.
can
So
only
what?
stay at
You're
the top
tired
for
of
so-
winning?
No, it can never
Nah,
be tired
bro.
of winning. But you would have hoped because anything that is good can be replicated. So if you are really successful, you have a system that somebody else can implicate.
So why would I do
themselves.
that at MLS and not another league?
No,
Why not go back to Bayern?
What I'm
Finish
saying,
the job.
What I'm saying is they can put people in place that they're leaving, and the system is gonna work the same because that's what Pep Guardiola created, a system
Except
that
eventually-
works
except
every
that-
single
except at
year.
Bayern.
It works every single year in the EPL, so they crack the code.
If you build the
Right?
machine from
With
scratch,
150 allegations.
you can.
Crack the code.
I agree.
So
Yeah.
there you go.
you
That-
go.
But,
you
all right.
got your answer.
City conversation. Now, bit of a teaser. I have a connection of mine here in Austin that's a massive City fan, and we're gonna get him here in studio soon, and we're gonna have an episode focused on the allegations of what's going on with City because
Danger?
this danger.
Danger. I know.
This
Should we have the
person-
cops or
Oh, danger.
should we have the cops around?
we should come in dressed in like lawyer suits and stuff.
Danger says that a quarter of those allegations are just because City started a game 30 seconds, 40 seconds too late, or 30 seconds too
I
early.
heard something about
A
that.
lot of the allegations are just piled up to make the number look really bad, when in reality, a big chunk of those allegations are just foolish
Also,
things piled
is
on.
he maybe biased a little bit?
We're gonna see. We're gonna find out. We're gonna find out.
Why don't you get like a lie detector right there too?
Ooh, we
What
need
they
to
do.
come in lawyer suits, briefcases.
But-
have- we
Put
should
on
we
your-
should we should
put on your
actually
light up
hire
here.
we
You
should
know, like
hire a
who?
real lawyer.
You know, like who?
Who?
Lex Friedman.
Lex Friedman.
We're
Yeah,
gonna
I'm
come
down.
in
I'm
looking
down.
like Lex Friedman. But okay, gentlemen. Real quick, before we get into some of the nitty gritty stuff in La Liga, a bit of a shout to Serie A. AC Milan, Pulisic, Team Pulisic, 2-2 against Torino. Now they were down 2-0, but they come back 2-2, bro. But late goals from Morata and from Okafor. Literally late goals, 89 and 95. Literally late goals. So big ups to them. Team Pulisic avoids embarrassment on match day 1. Neff, any thoughts on AC
Team
Milan?
Pulisic?
Team
Have
Pulisic.
some respect for
Captain
AC Milan,
America.
bro.
Team
Captain
Pulisic.
America.
That's
That
his
is-
team. That's
that
his
is
team.
disrespectful.
Did he not come in and
You know, don't.
His
I,
team.
I hope we don't have any Italian fans that come for your head, bro. That's disrespectful.
I call that Team Pulisic.
That is
now,
extremely disrespectful.
now that I think about it, Nip, now that you're saying, I kind of.
Yeah, that's really disrespectful. It's AC
have a-
Milan you're talking
They
about.
have a chant for
Have
him.
some shame.
They have a chant for him.
No. Yeah, get out the pitch. That's the chant.
He did great. He did great.
No, AC Milan fans rate Pulisic.
That's different than that being Team Pulisic, bro.
What
To me,
do
it's
they
Team
chant when
Pulisic.
he scores?
Pulley.
Pulley, pulley, pulley.
Another
Big ups.
Cucurella one, bro. I'm done. Bro.
Nah, I think Pulley is better. Now, in other news, Bayer Leverkusen, they tied 2-2 against Stuttgart in the DFL Super Cup. Now, Bayer Leverkusen with the late comeback, surprise, surprise, they win it in penalties. Xabi Alonso does it again. Now, for Leverkusen, Boniface, minute 11, and then Schick in the 88th. Terrier, minute 37, red card. And then for Stuttgart, Milot, minute 15, and Undav in the 63rd minute. Leverkusen still unbeaten domestically since May 2023, 54 games. Now, before Xabi Alonso, Bayer Leverkusen hadn't won a trophy since 1993. He just led them to their third in 5 months.
Damn.
Bundesliga, DFB Pokal, and the DFL Super Cup.
The DFL Super Cup, isn't that more like a community shield?
It's like a
Or is it
it-
rated
yeah,
higher?
It's just like the Spanish Super Cup.
It's a title.
and like all of that.
It's a title, mate. It's a Super Cup. It's a
I'll give
Super
him
Cup.
that.
Yeah, I mean,
It's a
it's
Super
kind of
Cup.
like your.
So it's not
preseason.
like the community shield.
It's not like the
Okay.
community shield.
Nah, I mean, the Community Shield has a lot more. to
But
it.
I mean, F, thoughts on Xabi? I mean, this is a guy that you know very well.
Yeah.
I mean, you know
real?
his career top to
yeah,
bottom.
Damn, w's he like?
dope, dude. He loves Mazatlan, bro. He
Hey,
loves Mazatlan.
thoughts on the achievement?
Well, you know what? It's been a lot of the same, with this team. A lot of the late comebacks.
comebacks.
The halftime changes. I think it's like he's got that formula down. Let's see if it can last them this whole season, because that's a whole different story. I mean,
Yeah.
you've seen teams that can come back constantly. Austin FC was one of those in 2022. But that doesn't last forever. Teams are gonna figure you
Ruben.
out.
Ruben.
Shout out Ruben, but
Shout out
yeah.
How long
it's a-
can? There's absolutely no way that they can go unbeaten again. So how long can they? And I say that.
Well, look,
I mean,
they've got the record now, so it's it's kind of up in the air.
it's like it's gonna. Let me see if I
I
can bring up their
don't
schedule.
think they win the Bundesliga again, though. I do think they'll be within the 3 spots, but I don't know that they win it again.
We'll see. We'll see if they win Bundesliga or not.
They need to be more dominating. That's for sure, though, because a lot of these small teams they will do what small teams do, and they just sit in the back and then just shot after shot after
I'm
shot.
gonna give you a bit of homework, Neff.
do
Find out what their transfer budget looks like.
Oh, their transfer budget is small.
So
It-
then you
because,
so
before
then
this
so,
whole
so then
thing-
you can only do so much with what you have.
No, yes, absolutely. But they've also they've had some sales, right? And they've accumulated some money as
Okay.
well. Let's not forget that this was a team that not that long ago was about to declare bankruptcy. So this is not
Yeah.
a team that has been financially
interesting.
stable in the last couple of years, up
Interesting.
until probably this point.
And
Chicharo used to play there.
Chichero,
they
yeah.
got a bit of. Oh, he went off when he,
He
played.
went
Yeah.
off
there,
with
yeah.
them. That was
For
his.
two
That was
seasons.
his.
Yeah.
That was his peak.
Probably so.
Yeah,
was the
because
best
then after
Chicharo
that
ever.
he went to West Ham and he didn't really go off
Yeah,
to West
no.
Ham.
West Ham had a great chant. We had a chicharito.
Yeah, I remember. Good
Yeah.
times.
A little
And now,
Mexican
and now
down
he's
that way.
And now
he's in this.
he's
Damn.
just
Jeez.
cheap.
And Leverkusen have a tough run now. They got Borussia Mönchengladbach,
Mönchengladbach.
Leipzig,
Leipzig,
Hoffenheim, Wolfsburg,
Wolfsburg.
and Bayern. So
Bayern.
I mean,
That's a tough.
That's a
Those
tough
are the
start.
best teams in Germany.
yeah, they got a tough run. So that streak might end soon. Maybe we'll see.
It could. I mean,
Well,
We'll see.
still-
it's just consistency and luck.
Still unbeaten domestically.
Just know I'm gonna be watching their games.
Everybody is, man.
Yeah.
Fantastic for them. Now, okay, now we can finally get into La Liga. Talk about Real Madrid, of course.
The disaster.
I would call it.
Oh,
I would.
come on.
I would call it a bit of a letdown on match day one.
That's
Now,
fair.
That's fair.
you go to Mallorca, a bit of a hostile environment. I was watching that game. The fans were letting the players have it. They
Well,
were on top of the players. They were on their
They let
butts.
one player specifically have it.
Specifically Vini. But
Specifically
Vini
Vini,
brings it because he does jeer on the crowd. Vini does jeer him on. Vini will be like this and he'll be like, ah.
Vinny's got a target wherever he goes, bro. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
at
think
this
it's,
point.
it's a bit unfortunate. They were whistling at him when he had the ball. And Vini hears it and Vini reacts.
Well, I gotta say though, this is a whole lot of like cause and effect thing, right? So
Chicken or the egg?
I mean, you could go there. Who started what, right?
True.
But you can't expect a player not to react all the
100%.
time,
Yeah.
100%.
right? So if the away fans are doing it, or rather the home fans are doing that to him, you know, he's still a human being, right? He still has the right to
100%.
respond.
Vini-
He should be responding on the field more. I agree with
Vinny
that.
chose fire with fire.
Yeah, I mean,
So-
but so far he's been winning. Maybe not this specific example, right? But throughout last season, throughout the past seasons, he's been winning.
Now in this game, Real Madrid goes up super early. Rodrigo with a
Golazo.
goal,
Yeah,
golazo. What a finish!
beautiful goal.
Curler, fantastic. A lot of people were, kind of rating him
Highly underrated. Bro.
below Vinicius, below Kylian Mbappe with the new additions that
Well-
this team has made. A name like Rodrigo, he's a very quiet player. He's not out there in your face. He's not flashy. He's a very quiet, hard worker, right? That's the kind of profile that I give this player. But he's still performing week in and week out for the Real Madrid side, and it's no surprise.
No.
Oh my God! And it's no
No,
surprise. And it's no
listen.
surprise that teams like Manchester
What do you
City
disagree
are
with?
after him.
But what do
Listen.
you disagree with what Ace?
Because
I
he's not as consistent as Hernan says.
God.
He's not. That's just the truth of it all.
But
I
when-
mean, there's a reason why there's a big gap between him and Benny.
But can I tell you this?
Yeah.
He's not as consistent. Maybe in La Liga games or like throughout a stretch where they play in Copa del Rey or wherever. But when it comes to big games, I think he's been consistently there.
No, so in big games, so he's a big game player, right?
Yeah.
So he does perform typically well in those games.
And he's
But
extremely
there's-
underrated, in my opinion.
No, he is underrated, and I genuinely think that he would do or be the star probably in any other team that he goes to. Maybe aside from one or two teams.
Maybe.
I know, for example, if City were to take him, I know not only would he be a
Oh,
starter,
yeah.
he would be a star there.
Yeah, he would-
you know.
yeah.
But that being said, there is stretches within the season that he does get pretty lost.
But
Last
that's
season, 51 matches, 17 goals, 9 assists.
Yes, Hernan, but a lot of those
That's
goals
fair.
came in stretches of 4 games.
So we have two
Right.
games, nothing. Then 3 games back to back to back.
And then nothing.
3 games, nothing. 2 games he scores a goal. 3 games he doesn't score.
Now, you're saying that's in the Champions League. Now, if you go to the league,
Oh, that's a
look at
big
that.
gap.
See?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, brace, goal.
But there's
missing
gaps
one.
there.
Yes,
I agree. I
and
see what
and
Neff
that
is
was
saying.
that was the
Yeah.
you know
That
the
is-
the
I
big
see.
there's gaps. There's
I
just
see
a
that.
lot
I
of
see
gaps.
Neff. I see. Good
He
point,
also
Neff. Good point,
he
Neff.
also plays for a team that has multiple scoring options.
True.
Absolutely,
Damn,
but
good-
because
good
you're
point,
in that
good point.
pressure,
Wow,
right?
good point, good point.
He let Brahim, or rather Brahim took that opportunity and actually made the best out of it. and had very similar numbers to Rodrigo.
But let's go. Let's
Talk-
get back
yeah,
to the game.
Talk
though.
to me
Right,
about the
right,
game,
right.
Mallorca. Now, okay, so it was 1-1. Now,
Yes.
tell me how this wasn't a letdown, or tell me how,
Okay.
how this
No,
wasn't
no,
a
no, no, no.
fracaso.
Okay, let me first. Yeah, that's a good point. But let me, from an outsider, give you my thoughts.
Yeah.
And then you go based off because it's essentially going to be
Let's
the
do
same. Because H is asking you, why do you think this wasn't a fracaso? I'm gonna tell you why I think it was. Right.
Right.
Because, and this is just the hype coming into Real Madrid this season. I think is like no other before, in my opinion.
Right.
I think that for the first time, from outside looking in, I see a Real Madrid squad on paper that is like, por Dios.
There you
For the
go.
first time, right? So the hype is tremendously high. Mbappe, Vini, Rodrigo, Jude. Okay, so coming off the winning silverware against Atalanta. I always get my words mixed up. Okay, coming into this, you would expect after scoring that goal, lazo de Rodrigo.
Right.
I expected Real Madrid to maybe get one more, maybe two more, and be at least 2 goals ahead by this game. And things kind of died down a little bit. And just coming off the hype, based on the squad, to me, I think it was a letdown.
No, and you guys are both absolutely right. It was a letdown.
Yeah.
Fracaso, it's a whole.
Okay, maybe fracaso is-
You're
yeah.
taking it like
I agree.
10 steps above.
True.
Now, that's another thing that we got to cover here is, like you said, on paper, right? So these players have only played 2 games together. They had a preseason together, but not a full preseason together.
Yeah.
Now, of course, it's Real Madrid, it's Mbappe, it's Vini, Bellingham, Rodrigo. The whole squad is star dubbed, right? You can't just look at that and think it's gonna work. You gotta see what the work on the field it's like, how they organize the attacks. I saw a lot of them not being able to communicate properly in the attack going forward. Of course, that you have those plays because they're outstanding players, they're stars.
So it's
that
the
they're gonna
same-
understand each other, but they gotta organize all of that for able to be able to run the machine properly, right? It's not a well-oiled machine yet.
I want to say this. On the Real Madrid side, I think what I saw in the Super Cup, it was good enough to win the game against Mallorca. However,
Absolutely.
I do want to say this. We are forgetting that this Mallorca side was in the Copa del Rey final
Yes.
against Athletic Club. They lose it, right? Whatever.
And pants.
El Vasco was at the helm. He leaves that position to join the Mexican national team, and he brings Rafa Marquez with him. They get a new coach. This guy's a known coach in La Liga. He's had spells with Osasuna and other clubs that kind of fight for their lives or mid-table teams, whatever. I think Mallorca played well. I think whatever game plan they had, they executed it well. They knew that they weren't going to have many chances in front of goal, and whatever opportunities that they had, they tried to take them, and they obviously took one, and that's all they needed in this match at least.
And if you want me to pick a point of the game where I'm like, "Ay, cae tal juego," I think it's the Mallorca goal, which was a great header, but I think that falls on Mbappe, bro. I
agree.
think that Mbappe was getting extreme praise for his defensive work rate against in the
Euros.
Yeah.
in the cup final, right? Extreme praise. I was seeing that all over the TL, and I was like, "Vamos a ver cuando empiece la liga, we'll see." And I
It's
think this
just
falls on
different.
him. Look, I'm not saying, oh, yeah, like done. No, of course it's week 1, right? But it just comes to that point. So
No, I agree with you. It was definitely Mbappe. I think Mbappe was at fault there because this is the player that scored is not like a nobody in La Liga. This is a player that's known for those specific types of set pieces, right? With that being said, you could also ask, why is Mbappe the one marking him? Right?
yeah,
So-
they were
It was a bit of a
it was zone marking.
Yes,
Y'all were doing
Yeah,
zone marking.
they were doing zone marking, but at the same time, Ancelotti also does a lot of that. So Rudiger probably would have been the one next to him, and
Should've been.
he kind of beats
Yeah.
him to it
Yeah.
out of nowhere.
And I tell you,
it happens.
And I tell you what, Neff, I tell you 2H. Look, it's fun to, and you know me, y'all know me. I have some words for Madrid. It's just what it is. But I'll tell you what, bro. This team will gel, bro. Ancelotti will figure this out.
100%.
And to me, I always give this criticism to you, to H. It's like, when are we gonna see that Real Madrid that go up 1 and then go up 2 and then go up 3
Well,
and put the foot. Let's get it.
Well,
and I
was-
think that this from
This
an
could be
outsider,
it.
I think this could be
could
the
be
squad,
it.
bro.
And this, and more specifically, because this reminds me a lot of one of Zidane's best teams, which I believe was the 17-18 one. But
16-17 was better.
arguable.
We can
but we
go
can
off
go
of that,
into
yeah,
that.
yeah.
But
Go ahead.
the reason why it reminds me of it, and I get really excited about this team, because Mbappe aside, to me, this team is like super stacked now in the bench as well.
Yeah.
Because if you're gonna go,
Hendrick didn't even play.
Hendrick didn't play.
Why?
Because he's 19.
He's not ready. He's not. He's a kid.
He's 18.
Arda finally played, and he only got like a couple minutes. You gotta take. This is not a team where you're gonna see 17-year-olds starting week in, week out. We don't need that.
Let's
right?
wrap it up. Let's wrap it up on the Real Madrid topic. They tie 1-1.
Yeah.
You know, we can say that it was a bit of a letdown, this and that. Now, we'll see what happens next. Now, Barcelona, their rivals, they take all 3 points home. They
Yeah.
take all 3 points. Now, they started losing, right? You were thinking, I was saying, yo, Barcelona's in the mud, ha, ha, ha. However, before the first half ends, Lewandowski just real quick does the 1-2 in minute 49 and also the 50th minute with 45 plus 5. They go up 2-1 on Valencia. Now, for Valencia, Hugo Duro, he scored minute 44 for them. But like I said, the Hansi Flick era begins with a win over Valencia. B, any thoughts on Barca?
Man, I'm not looking. Man, the excitement for Barca has died down to a very minimum. Just from a neutral fan, I'm not a supporter of Barcelona, even though half my friends think I am. And it's crazy how I say one bad thing about Madrid, and I'm a closeted Barcelona fan. So I just think the excitement is just it's not there how it always used to be. I'm excited as hell to see Madrid gel. I used to feel the same way for Barcelona as well. I don't feel that. I don't feel that.
I think
I'm actually, I feel more excited to see what Atleti can cook up.
Atleti's got on paper.
Yeah.
You know,
So I'm more excited for them.
They had a
Monday.
busy transfer window.
They play Monday?
They play
Yeah.
they play
play
Monday,
Monday.
and I think be part of why a lot of neutral fans are not finding that excitement in Barcelona is because they aren't really competing
Yeah.
against Real Madrid anymore. Of course, they're competing in La Liga, and they might get that second.
I'm going to actually disagree with you, but go ahead.
The only excitement I see is seeing maybe what Lamine Yamal can do.
Why'd you take my point, bro?
Oh, that's because I had a feeling. That's the only excitement. That's the only excitement.
I mean,
Danny Olmo, maybe, but he's not fit
well,
yet.
if he's not injured, like for 2/3 of the
I
season.
wanted Danny Olmo for Real Madrid.
Nah,
mate.
you're on
wanted
something,
Dani
bro.
Olmo.
You're on something.
I thought he's.
You look at our squad and you think Dani Olmo. We need Dani.
No.
What is going on in here?
I don't
bro?
look. I don't look at the squad and say I want Danny Olmo. I've wanted Danny Olmo in the past because he's been good for quite some time.
What did you say about Lamine Yamal?
I was gonna say that Lamine Yamal would be one of the bright spots.
No, but
for-
what did you say off camera about Lamine
I
Yamal?
think I
Didn't you
remember
say?
you saying something.
Okay, yeah, I said that if Real Madrid wants to completely knock off Barcelona, go all out for Lamine Yamal.
You know, remember we brought up about lawyers earlier? This guy might need one, and he might want to call Saul Goodman because I don't know how he's getting out of it.
Oh my god! Imagine
Hot
Lamine
take?
Yamal wearing all white.
on, bro.
No, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. It's not
His,
gonna happen.
his dad's a Madridista.
It was a goof.
Is he?
It was a goof.
He's a Madridista.
His
and-
What? I
and
didn't know that.
His dad's a Madridista, and he just got stabbed
He
over
just
there in
got
Barcelona.
Oh
So
my
He's all
God.
good.
yeah, he's
Is he
good.
good?
Thankfully, thank God he's good. but
Where was he?
he's in Barcelona.
Bro, you know that he called into El Chiringuito
Yeah. He
Oh, he was bleeding
to
out.
to tell
no
them that
after
to tell them he was all good.
Okay,
Like they
okay.
got that exclusive.
Yeah.
That's
okay.
insane. El Chiringuito got that exclusive.
Imagine
Would we
Drewsy
want to try to
calling
get that exclusive? I mean, we would want to try to get that exclusive.
Hopefully that
right?
doesn't happen in Austin.
That's true.
No,
Right, right.
No, we don't want that.
We're not in.
to
We're
happen.
not in UK. We're
Yeah.
not with the man in them. Man them.
Unfortunately, here we have a different problem, and we all know what it is.
Yes.
But okay, guys, Girona 1-1 against Real Betis. Just real quick, I just want to mention them. Misehui scores at 72nd minute, and then for Betis, Marc Bartra in the 5th minute. Now 1-1. Will Girona will they keep up this season? Also, last season they had a magical season. A lot of folks saying that they're not going to be able to.
Look, the excuse that I heard last season for their fall off is that they were content to just get in the top 4.
Yeah.
I think they were like, oh, well, we're lucky to even be in the top 4. Why would we want to push for the title, right? I wonder what that feeling's going to be this season. I mean, if last season you were content with just getting top 4, This season, you're in the Champions League. Are you going to be content with being top 4 again? Is that
Facts.
Also? Are you just a feeder club to City? I mean,
Yeah.
Savinho?
Is
That's-
Savinho coming off
Bro.
already going to City? I mean,
Yeah,
it's,
you know
they
the
are
funny
part
thing,
of the web.
Savinho wasn't. He was bought by Troyes, immediately loaned out to Girona, and then to City.
yeah.
The guy didn't even play for the team that bought him. All thanks to City. And now they're doing that to a
And
lot
guess
of
what?
a lot.
And
Girona
guess what?
players.
Guess who wants to do the same thing?
Chelsea.
Todd Bowley, mate.
Yeah, but Chelsea's been doing that for years,
Bro,
bro.
we bought 45 players. The word is to send them to our future web club for bro. There's a rabbit hole between this.
Well,
We
yeah.
bought in. I'm just gonna go off. I'm not based on facts. You can look me up. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm just going off based on feelings.
TikTok
We
news.
bought 40
Conspiracy
TikTok
theory
news.
time.
TikTok news. We bought 45 players to sell them off to a web team for the money to mess with the numbers to potentially like it goes crazy.
sounds illegal.
We want to. Top Bowley
very
is
illegal.
bro. Top Bowley since he has bought
that
Chelsea
sounds
has
like-
been doing ground like breaking stuff, whether it's good or bad. Signing players to 9-year contracts, getting bypassed the financial fair play to stretch out the money for 9 years. Guess what? They patched that. Now he's doing this 45 player thing. Guess what? They're gonna patch that. Now he's trying to. It's just Top Bowley is just.
But, okay, are you on board with this?
Are you okay with it?
Yeah,
B?
are
Do
you-
you
are you
support
okay with
this?
it? Do you support
Is
this?
this your club?
Bro, if you're asking me, do I support having 7 goalkeepers in my squad? I
Not a good one?
do.
Not a single good goalkeeper. What good
We
is
don't
it having
know. We
7?
don't know yet. We don't know. I mean, you know.
Oh
we'll
my
see.
god! But guys,
7 keepers and you end up with the Brighton one?
Bro, we
Hey,
have 7
maybe.
keepers, 8
Another-
center backs. Like it's crazy. We have
another
like
80 mil.
yeah.
Now Sevilla 2-2 against Las Palmas. Just real quick scoreline: Sevilla, Alex Suarez own goal minute 25, and then Juanlu minute 61 for Las Palmas. Nianzu own goal minute 42nd, and then Sandro minute 70. Banger goal by Sandro. And then, like we mentioned earlier, Atletico de Madrid, they play versus Villarreal. La Liga match, that's going to be coming up soon, same as the Tottenham versus Leicester City game. Now, I rate Tottenham this season coming up. I have them finishing top 4. I don't know if that's a hot take.
is enough.
I think Solanke is going to fit well.
Okay.
But I'm more looking at the players that were rested in this summer that didn't get chosen for any major tournament. And I'm also looking at Ange making everybody better. Because I like what I saw last year. They started off strong. They
ran out of
fell
steam.
short.
They ran out of steam.
Ran out of
They got
steam.
figured out.
They got figured out.
Yeah.
But Ange was working this off window. He was working hard, and he's going to hit the Premier League different.
So who's
I'm
your top
excited
4?
to see him. My top 4 is going to be Arsenal, Man City, Spurs, Aston Villa.
Oh. Okay.
That's my top 4. Now, we did tell the folks on Discord that we were going to have a preview prediction podcast,
Yeah.
but how about this? How about we do it after 5 games when we
Okay.
have a little bit to work
Some
with,
data to
some data to analyze because
Okay.
predictions on match day 1 are ridiculous.
It's just you're
There's
just throwing.
no
you're
way
just,
they're gonna be right.
There's no way. Yeah.
There's no way.
Yeah.
So why make them?
Yeah.
So let's get 5 weeks in.
5. So after 5 weeks, we'll do our prediction.
We'll do our predictions for
That
the
seems
season.
fair. That seems fair.
And we'll do top scorer prediction.
Okay.
We'll do top assister,
Okay.
top 4 league winners, and also relegation battles.
Okay.
We'll
Okay.
do that.
I'm down.
Cool?
Let's do it. And let's put some money on. Nah, just-
Chill. Price Picks is actually looking for me.
Oh.
Yeah.
I heard.
Price Picks is
What
looking
did you
for
do?
me. I don't even know
Yeah,
anymore.
should you even say it?
I shouldn't. Can you
Okay.
cut this out?
I heard City's another one of his teams.
Oh.
Ah.
Last
There's
season,
no way.
City is my EPL
Bro.
team too. They're my EPL
Makes
team
sense. Makes sense.
too. I gotta be real. I gotta be real.
Bro,
But hey, gentlemen,
get serious,
before we
bro.
get out of here, last topic on the notes: Liga MX laughing stock this season in Leagues Cup.
Again.
Absolutely embarrassment. I think this year even worse. Now I was getting hate on social media. Well, not hate. I was getting criticism on social media. Why are people defending Liga MX feelings? Why are people saying, "Oh,
Why are you trying to hurt it?
They're trying
mate,
to
last season they came after us just ruthless."
Yeah.
I'm not gonna spare anybody's feelings this year,
Well,
bro.
actually, last year it was like, we don't care.
Yeah.
That was the vibe I got. Bro, America, to not be able to score on Colorado, I don't care if Colorado's coming in hot form. They are. But America not being able to score on Colorado in LA, where it's 98% America fans, is embarrassing, bro. Embarrassing. Embarrassing. It's unacceptable. It's just unacceptable to me. The only Liga MX team that took this seriously was Mazatlan. They took it seriously. They couldn't score on a Philly, even them being down a man. I had a shit take in the beginning of this Leagues Cup, thinking that Liga MX teams learned their lesson from the first iteration, that they would take this more seriously, and no, they didn't. They did not take it more seriously. It's an embarrassment. I agree with H. It's an embarrassment.
Now, I think, this is what I believe. Leagues Cup was taken more serious by small Liga MX things. And let me tell you why. Because there's a financial incentive in this tournament.
Yes.
Bigger Liga MX size, we always laugh about it. We say, Monterrey has 13 DP players. What do DP players have? Contracts that have this, right? When you have money in the bag, money coming in, Leagues Cup for you is just a Mickey Mouse tournament.
Yeah.
But when you're Mazatlan and you have 3 digits on the back of your jersey, multiple players in that lineup that are probably making debuts or trying to get into that next step. And by the way, Mazatlan has developed some really good players in the past. Not that many, but some, right?
Hernan,
Another
Mazatlan is as old as Austin.
Another team, Santos.
Yeah.
Maybe has a lot of players on there that would like to win that prize money at the end of the cup.
Well, but those players didn't play, Hernan.
Or every game that you play, you get a bonus. It's up to the club how much they want to give you, but we'll leave that up to.
That's not the reality.
You're failing to mention one thing: the main carrot, which is a CONCACAF Champions Cup berth.
Yeah, and which you could parlay that into a Club World Cup.
Exactly. So I think if you make the semis, you have 2 chances of getting that. And I think that's what Mazatlan, was fighting for.
For them, that makes more sense.
Yes,
because CCL is unachievable for
And
them.
I want to say
exactly,
this.
exactly.
Yeah.
And I want to say this.
Same thing for Colorado. Sorry.
Yes.
The excuse of, they don't have any home games is poor. It's just poor. And let me tell you why. Because La Selección Mexicana, El Tri, one of their main slogans is siempre local, always home. Because guess what? There's a huge chunk of Mexicans, Latinos in the United States. And just like you mentioned, B, they played in L.A., 95% America fans.
I would say
right?
98%.
98%.
And then with the new rules that Leagues Cup, the top teams like America got to choose their home base.
So you tell me who's home.
It's America.
You tell me who's home. Colorado, a team from the United States, or America, a team from Mexico? Who's really home in L.A.?
Oh, it's America.
It's America.
It's America.
Man.
Not even that's why it was so embarrassing. Is that being at I'm gonna just say it. Being at home in LA, 98% of the fan base is America, and you can't score a goal in Colorado.
That's all I'm
you can't score, and then
that's all I'm gonna say.
But also on the penalties, if MLS teams like, hey, let's just hold off penalties, that also plays into effect.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that, let's bring extra times because we could be wasting time. There could be not a goal for 30 minutes.
I kind of like this new rule. Just go straight to PKs on some tournaments. I like it.
But then it gives incentives to smaller clubs to just hold it down and just gamble with the penalties.
Hey, I mean, if you're David versus Goliath,
there's no excuses. There's no America should be scoring on Colorado.
That's how you level it.
Should be.
Once you go to PKs, is a 50-50 chance.
Yeah.
But when you're shooting the PK, technically it's 80% for the shooter, 20% for the goalkeeper. Just a little bit of fact out there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Where's that from?
It's like a known stat. I learned this because of Brad Stuber. Stuber mentioned it one time. I forget where, but he said that for a goalkeeper, you have a 20% chance of saving and 80% chance that the guy's going to score it. So take that into consideration next time you think about a penalty. Real quick. But Neff, anything else that you want to add on Leagues Cup? Of course, Mazatlan, they tied 1-1 against Philly. They go out in penalties as well. El Brujo Martinez, his last match, but Philly moves on. Like we said, Mazatlan, they exceeded expectations. And Seattle, they get their teeth kicked in by LAFC. Lloris with another assist, bro. Now, that's crazy because he got an assist against Austin FC. But before that, he hadn't done that since like 2013. He gets one again against Seattle. And like I said, LAFC is probably the favorites to win this tournament. Any thoughts on the Leagues Cup?
So, like you said, it's a Mickey Mouse trophy, bro.
I didn't say that. I didn't say
that's
that.
not a
You
Mickey.
said
I didn't say that. I said
it's not a
teams might
Mickey
see
Mouse
it like
trophy,
that.
bro. This is not a Mickey Mouse trophy, bro.
Look,
it's not though. Come on.
It might not be to y'all, and that's fine.
Okay, tell me why.
To me, it's not worth anything.
But it's worth a CONCACAF playoff berth, bro. 3 teams will go to the CONCACAF.
Teams, the important Mexican teams, the ones that make the money, they get that spot through CCL.
Okay, but what about the Santos, the Querétaros, the
Bro,
Mazatlans, the
bro,
Juárez's?
bro, if you're gonna get
What
into
about those
Santos,
teams?
Like, look, we're gonna talk about Santos. I'm gonna tell you right now, bro. They got bigger fucking problems than than that.
But you're avoiding the main point. What about the lower teams that would being in the CONCACAF Champions Cup would be crazy for them to be in that tournament. So why not chase it? Mazatlan was one game away from having 2 chances to be in it.
And we discussed this in the Spanish pod.
Yeah.
The only thing that Mazatlan wants to get more than the actual, that spot, it's also growing their brand.
Yeah,
Mazatlan
100%.
is doing that great.
Yeah.
And it's working amazing for them.
But you
This
can't.
was a win
But
for them.
not
This was a
every
win-win.
team is like that.
But to my point though, that's not a Mickey Mouse Cup, bro. It's not.
bro,
It's not.
Mazatlan reached their goal, and you know what that goal is? Is that people like us talk about them,
Yeah.
and we're talking about them right now.
And there you go.
That's their goal.
But it's
That's
not a
for
Mickey
them.
Mouse Cup, bro.
Look, to
I-
me,
you
to
can't
me-
say that. You can't
To
say
me,
that.
as a Santos fan, and I guess Liga MX watch like enjoyer, it doesn't really mean much.
Okay,
There's not
that's fine.
much
That's
to
fine.
it.
That's fine.
Now,
That's fine.
Why am I gonna watch a Leagues Cup now that America's gone, Chivas and all of them are
Nobody's
gone?
gonna watch it anymore. It's done.
Why would anybody watch it?
It's over.
Now-
you should just end
now-
it right now.
I'll watch it.
You
I'm
should
gonna
just
watch
end it
it.
right
I mean,
now.
I'm gonna
that's,
watch
that's
it. You should
fine.
send
But
it.
Yeah.
you watch MLS, you watch that, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But keep in mind, now, it doesn't until a Mexican team wins it. It's not really gonna hold that much value.
And guess what, bro?
No, it still has value.
It still has value, but it might be a minute. If
And-
this keeps going how the way it
Let's
is.
wrap
That's
it up.
fine. That's fine, but it's just not there.
I
Like-
will admit one last thing is this season's Leagues Cup did not hit nowhere near like last season.
No,
Because
and
Messi
I'm
was
gonna
injured.
tell you this one last thing. The team that has to win it has to be America for the other teams to take it serious.
the
Because
fan base will
everybody
pick it
wants
up.
to win what America wins, and that's just the truth.
So you're an America fan?
No, I'm just
I am.
realistic. I know what it is.
America's the biggest club in this region.
Yeah.
Chivas is up there as well.
Oh my
No,
god.
Hernan,
Historically, you
Let's
can
end,
make
let's,
a
end,
point.
let's end the conversation there. We
No,
got-
but you
let's
can't
end
end
the
it on
conversation
the
there.
Chivas is just up there.
We got some podcast
Nah.
questions that we gotta cover before we get out of here, mate.
someone's
Uh,
on crack today, dude.
First one comes from Vanilla Mexican. He says, if you were given the chance to purchase a skilled DP9, but he would cost a fortune, which Austin FC player or players would you sell or buy out their contract? And if there's some leftover change, would you bring another player? Options are a DP9 who currently plays in MLS, DP9 who is in European leagues, or a DP9 who's in South American leagues.
Damn, that's a meaty question.
It's a loaded baked
first of
potato
all,
question.
He's asking who would we offload to bring in a quality number 9, and then
Yeah.
he's asking where.
Somebody got to go.
I mean, it would have to be someone that's making. I mean, Zardes for sure. I mean, Zardes would have to go quick.
Is there
That's
really another answer to that?
that would be 100% Zardes would have to go. If not, I mean, I would say Julio as well. Just looking at salary pays.
Julio.
I'm looking at salary pays. Who can we clear up some budget to bring in a high number
here
9?
we go.
And then I would say that what did I? Did,
No.
No, I think you struck a nerve right there.
I was just curious.
That's
Is that
his
you would
boy.
you would
Julio's his
eliminate?
boy,
No,
bro.
you would eliminate a center back that's been doing things.
Well, we
well
have
for a
we have
striker.
19 center backs, bro. We're on some Chelsea stuff. So
I just
Not
thought
a
it was
good
interesting.
one.
and then on the second part of his question, I would look at South America, bro. I would look at South America to bring in a 9.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I agree with that
That's
because of
my
climate reasons.
Climate
Any
change?
answer for that?
No, I think I agree. I
Solid
agree.
take?
Yeah, I think that's pretty solid.
Now, Elise, she says, I need help figuring out my Premier League team. I've dabbed with
Oh,
Brentford.
This is for you, H.
Yeah,
this
this
is
one's
for you.
We'll sit back. We'll sit this one out.
I've dabbled with Brentford. I love a Thomas Frank for coaching, and Liverpool mostly because of peer pressure. There's so many Austin FC / Liverpool crossover fans, and Dominic Sloboslai
Soboslai, yeah.
is pretty to watch when he's on one. But haven't found a team I can fan over at Austin FC or my Dortmund level. Suggestions for upcoming PL season
I mean, I could be.
for a team to follow.
I could
No,
come join the circus, mate.
No,
Come join this. There's plenty to talk about in the fan over here.
no.
Yeah, there's a lot
fan?
to defend. Defend. A lot to defend. We have history. We have trophies. We have 97 players. We have an American investor in Top Bowley. So it's
Some
chaotic.
illegal activity going on.
It's chaotic
Look.
over here.
I'm gonna be in a relegation watch zone. I'm picking up Ipswich Town this season. I really want to see what they got.
No, but she's asking for
22
it.
years.
She's not asking for this. Is she asking? Are they asking for
I don't know.
for this year only?
I think so.
Oh, okay.
Well, let's think long term.
Yeah, like picking a team
Like Austin FC and Dortmund,
yeah.
how they follow those
Yeah,
guys.
not like how
not
you're
Ipswich.
saying.
Okay.
Okay.
Then pick up a team. Pick up a team like Man City. Pick up a team like
Oh,
Arsenal.
nah.
Why not West Ham?
West Ham, fantastic shout. West Ham is also one.
It would. I would recommend not. And look, this is just obviously I support Chelsea. I support a big club. It's
Former.
crazy of
No,
me.
I got my pick.
It's crazy of me to say support somewhere up high, but like if you're gonna support like the mid to lowers, there's a chance they could be going down one day, and so
Final pick, Aston Villa.
Nah.
Follow Villa. Up to Villa. Ollie Watkins.
fair enough.
Ollie Watkins. Now, last question from Phil Mate. He says, what are the chances that we sign another DP this season or in the winter window? Who do you see leaving?
Well,
not this season.
the winter window wouldn't be this season.
It'd be
so-
next season. It'd be next
I
season.
think the chances for the next window, I think it might be pretty
It's
high.
strong. Like
I
you
think
said,
it's strong.
just like you said, Rodo is setting up the board for next window.
I think it's pretty strong, bro. I think that there's a high chance. I mean, I wouldn't put a percentage, but there's a high chance that we come into the next season with another
I mean, that's
DP.
the logical next step, right?
Question for you, Neff, and give me a yes or no if you can. Does Rodo Borrell deliver a trophy for Austin FC? A trophy being either Open Cup if it stays alive, MLS Cup, or
Shield.
the Shield.
Well, first
Or
of
Leagues
all,
Cup,
I'm
Leagues Cup.
extremely surprised you did not mention your beloved Copa Tejas, which means nothing.
We already got that in the bag. That's why. We got that
Didn't
in the
you
bag.
lose it
We
this year?
lost it this year, yeah.
But we got two. It's all
Okay.
good.
Anyways, I find it hard to believe, to be honest, that in the next year or two that'll be the case. I think it would take a promising, very promising number 9 for that to happen, and for Josh Wolf to be gone, in my opinion.
So
Okay.
yes,
So, yeah, I
But
said-
if those factors come to fruition, then I think so. The team,
So yes.
obviously,
So
yeah,
yes.
sure.
so Austin's winning silverware.
Austin went
Yes.
over with
If-
Rodo.
Nah,
Josh Wolf
yes or no,
leaves.
mate.
He said yes.
Yeah, he said yes.
Well,
He said
no,
yes.
I'm gonna
You
say
heard it
no,
here.
just because none of those.
just 'cause we-
No,
just
just
'cause
because
we
those
friends.
factors haven't been. They haven't come to fruition. So
You said yes.
no,
That's what I heard.
it's a no.
No, you said yes first.
No, it's a no.
All right, well, guys, we're going to get out of here. Another episode of Top Flight Pod. Appreciate you guys for checking us out. Now, we're going to be back with more midweek. Of course, we got some more episodes planned out for you. So stay tuned. Wait for those drops. And like I said, we'll be back continuing the conversation here soon. I'm H, this B, that's Neff, and we'll see you soon, guys. Have a good week. Later.